I want you to imagine this. Two students, they attend the same high school and they both take AP Physics 1 and 2, and they both do super well. The two students attend two different universities. The first student is awarded credit for their first year physics course. The second student, they are not awarded that credit. Same qualifications, but different result. In a lot of cases, you can get credit for APs, but not all universities treat APs the same way. Does AP Physics give you credit at a first-year university? Let's break down Stanford, MIT, and Princeton to see what can happen. Let's start with Stanford because it's good news. If you take AP Physics 1 and 2 or C and you get a 5, you are definitely getting credit, no matter what. But, and there's a big but, what course you take and even what grade you get can depend on which course you get credit for. If you take AP Physics 1 and 2, you can get credit for Physics 21 and perhaps also Physics 23. If you take AP Physics C, you can get credit for Physics 41 and Physics 43. Physics 21 and 23 are the non-calculus versions of the first year course. Physics 41, 43 are the calculus versions. And this actually maps onto the differences between AP Physics 1 and AP Physics C. I have another video explaining those differences. Now, Stanford actually has a whole complicated map depending on exactly what grade you get in which courses. For example, you need 2 courses if it's AP Physics 1 and 2, and you only need 1 course if it's AP Physics C Mechanics. However, the main takeaway is you can score credits. Now, MIT. MIT is the most brutal. MIT does not care anything about AP Physics 1 or 2. 0 credit no matter what. You can get credit if you take both AP Physics Cs, but only if you absolutely ace everything. Let me just read out their policy. A score of 5 on both AP Physics exams, mechanics and electricity and magnetism, will grant you credit for 801. No credit will be given for the Physics 1 and 2 exams separately. Ouch! So if you take AP Physics 1, nothing. If you take AP Physics Cs and you get a 5 on mechanics and a 4 in electromagnetism, still nothing. You have to ace both. Now, I'll say this, if you do take AP Physics 1, you will be prepared better than most other students for MIT's 801 mechanics course. Finally, Princeton. Now, Princeton pulls a move that nobody sees is coming. Perfect 5s. Doesn't matter. AP Physics C, that also doesn't matter. What happens is Princeton says you need to take our qualifying exam. They have an internal exam in the physics department that you can take, and if you do well on, you can skip their first years and get credit. So you would need a course like AP Physics 1 and 2 or Cs to be able to do well on that exam to skip a first year course, but there's no guaranteed credit. Now, all these 3 policies may be changed, but I think they do a good job of representing the kinds of policies that are out there if you're trying to get credit for your AP Physics exams. Now, I just need to say this. Getting credit in college is not the only reason to take AP Physics. AP Physics is a wonderful course that will stretch you and teach you physics, and it looks awesome on your transcript. And you may not want to skip first year physics unless you've really mastered the concepts. What I like to think is that AP Physics is a wonderful, wonderful preparation to help you do your very best, even in a first year course. If you're really set on getting credit for courses in first year university, you can maximize your chances by taking the AP Physics Cs and getting 5s on those exams, but no easy task. Blue Summit Tutors has been created to help students understand AP Physics and get 5s on that exam. We've created the 5 Club, a free online community stuffed with free resources for you to get your best possible grade on AP Physics. One of the things that we have in there is a weekly Q&A with myself so you can come and ask questions on any part of AP Physics.